Coming up, we're going to be talking about the lowest ranked movie I have ever given a Marvel movie. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Sacred Rewatch. My name is Ethan Bronson, and this is where we are rewatching every project in the MCU and beyond in chronological order leading up to Avengers Doomsday. You may have noticed that my excitement has lowered a little bit because of this movie. We're literally watching everything so you don't have to. And I think that line has never held more weight than this movie. Please make sure to subscribe, hit the notification bell, and give a 5-star review on whatever podcast platform you're listening to. I would argue that this is the most important episode that you should watch leading up to Doomsday, because I'm going to go out there and say right now, you do not need to watch this movie. You do not need to do it. Today, I am joined by Wyatt, who's on a 6-second delay.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Venom 3.
And our resident philosopher, Brody.
Hello, everyone. I just teleported here from somewhere. The bar.
So before I get into my score, I want to hear your guys' score, and then I'm going to speed run every single note I took from this movie, and then it's just going to be open floor, okay?
Sweet. Oh, open floor, like a dance floor, as if this were The Last Dance. Venom, The Last Dance. I see what you're doing there, Ethan.
No.
Your effort in this episode
this
is
movie
not
better than it
going
is.
underappreciated. I see you put a lot of effort in this one. You must have liked this one.
Brody, what did you give it?
I give it a whopping 5. And even that, I was like, this feels wrong to write. You know what I mean? I felt like I was signing my name off on a contract that I did not want to be part of. I was like, this better not come back to hurt me.
You're like,
5
I don't
on
want
my
to sign this
stance.
contract, but I'm going to. I know it's going to bite me in the ass, but who cares?
Right? Like, maybe these movies made a lot of money. Maybe just me talking about it, they'll be like, oh, what did we do with that bazillion dollars we made? Let's send it to this guy on this podcast. And then I'd give you guys, like, I don't know, a few dollars or something, but...
Wyatt, what about you?
It felt wrong to give a movie a score this low, but I gave it a 2.
Ooh! I wonder
just
what
like,
categories deserve those ones.
There's so many things that I was just
Right?
like,
Even at that point,
0.
I'm like...
Like nothing. Like there was nothing. I was like, I can't put a score here because it absolutely missed.
What a movie.
Shockingly, I actually wasn't even the lowest score today. I gave it a 2.5.
Ooh.
speed-
There you go.
To catch you up to speed of what the breakdown
My 5 feels
was.
so wrong.
Wyatt, and before I do my speed run of all my notes, I'd actually be curious your score breakdown too once I go over this. But I gave 0.5 point for story. I gave 1 point for characters. The only reason it got a 1 and not a 0.5 point was because of Eddie Brock. And I'm not even going to say Venom, because Venom, I think, struggled hard in this movie. Music, I also gave a 1, not a 0.5 point, but a 1, mostly because of that classical music piece that played. I can't remember the actual name of the song. It actually is the same song that was sampled for Tory Lanez. You guys know that rap song, Lord Knows? It's a good song.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I gave it a 1. But for rewatchability and iconic, I gave it 0s for both of them. This movie sucked. I'm not going to beat around the bush. This was awful. I didn't think we could watch a worse movie than Hulk, but this is terrible. Why make this? The president of Sony, Tom Sony. What'd you say his name was? Ed? Tom?
Todd Sony.
Todd Sony? He saw this and goes, yeah, let's put this out there.
Let me hop in with my score breakdown.
Why?
So
What was your score breakdown?
I gave it a 1 for story because they wrote something. You know, I gave it a 1 for characters because there's
We're not
characters in the
giving-
movie. And then I gave it a 0 for everything else because there was 0 songs that I can't even remember now. There was 0 moments that I can remember of being like, oh, cool. And I will never rewatch this movie in my entire life ever again.
I want to change my score, but I can't. Like I said, I wrote it in blood. Like carnage.
Maybe I'll even allow you to put a negative point in rewatchability so that you can tell other people, do not watch this. You will be wasting time
Right.
in your life, and we don't want you to do that.
Yeah. Wow. You can't even
It's so
mention
bad.
or
Why
it disappears.
doesn't even want to stay here anymore?
Yeah, no. Dude, now I want to lower my score. But I gave sound and score a 2. I thought like plane sounded like a plane.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Creature
Yeah.
sounded like a creature. Footsteps sounded like footsteps.
They
Good
did
Foley
have some
design on
popular
there.
music in this movie, but I can't even remember what they were.
No. But you know what I mean? Creatures. I think the creatures got cool sounds. I do like the voices and stuff that with how they talk. Almost every other point I regret. I'm now realizing I have a point in iconic moments. Not meant to be there. Oh no, it is. It's because of that meme. That meme of him at the end of the movie. And he's like, I'll miss you, friend, or whatever he says. Like,
I
you know,
haven't
he's
seen that
Tom.
meme.
But you know, at the end of the movie when Tom Hardy's like
Yeah.
staring off.
Yeah.
That's a meme making its rounds here and there. But then a lot of people they don't get it because they haven't seen the movie. But that's the only thing I could give for iconic moments. It's really just, is there a meme from this movie? That is what that category is for me.
It's so bad, there's not even memes to take, you know?
That is true. But yeah,
Okay, well,
I regret my
Wyatt-
character arcs and story stakes ones, but
the reason I gave characters a 1 is actually my last note that I'll make when I speedrun this. Wyatt isn't here right now. I'm just going to go through it. We'll start talking, see where this goes. You ready?
let's see.
Why in the hell does Knull have hair? That's weird. It's Mordo, but it's
That's
not really Mordo.
Right?
A lot of Venom-verse information to gather. Venom horse is a fun idea. I am bored. What the hell am I even watching with Venom and Chen dancing in Vegas? That's weird. This
Yep.
trilogy really has run its course. I don't like this quick introduction of new symbiotes without any explanation. Why was the
Yeah.
last 15 minutes the best part of the entire trilogy, and the montage at the end made me a little sad? I'm not going to lie. I was a little sad at the end.
I think that is where my 1 point in story and stake came from, was just for design. I didn't know where to put design. I think the design of some of the creatures and stuff is really cool, and the Venom horses, and the Venom like creatures, and the fish and stuff. Like
Yeah.
they do try to do some fun stuff that it's like, yeah, he's a symbiote. Like, why didn't we get into a lot of this stuff before? But then again, they're playing most of them for comedy, so it's like, eh. But the creatures, I think, are pretty cool looking. And like I said, the CGI in these movies is amazing.
Venom Horse is one of the dumbest
Like,
things
say
I've
what you
seen
will
on a
about
movie.
the actual movies. The CGI in these movies is crazy, though. You know what I mean? Compared to some other movies that you would expect to have way better. But then
I have a
again, they're just
question.
kind of switching the colors. They figure out Venom and they figure out everything.
Yes, Wyatt.
What is all that stuff with the girl whose brother gets electrocuted by a lightning bolt and just dies? Why is she in the movie?
Electro, maybe?
Like an absolute nothing burger. I also have another theory.
Hold on.
I have a strong
Nothing
theory about this
burger.
movie.
Jessica Jones? Okay.
I
let's hear
think that Knull is only in this movie to sell tickets before the movie. I think like a month before they had this movie coming out, they're like, we need to do something to get this movie out there. So they throw in this very scene at the beginning of Knull's planet and Knull doing his stuff, and then they throw in a scene at the end. First of all, they tease a 4th movie. Are we getting a 4th movie after you call it The Last Dance? Like, you don't do that. So yeah, Mission Impossible is done with 8 different movies being called like the last one.
adding Knull could
The
have been
final Venom.
as much easily done as like clipping it together with iMovie. They literally put Knull before any of the beginning of the movie actually starts. They give you the Marvel credit thing, and then they stick it on at the end.
That's why I'm saying I don't.
Like, I
It's
could
like
have
they
done
noticed halfway through they needed to do it. It's like yes,
Knull, more like Dole. Right? Off the dome right there.
There you go.
They saw-
It was better
they
than
saw
any of the writers on this
Thor
movie.
4.
Bazinga.
Tad, all I'll say is Thor 4 had a character with a similar vibe
Don't bring
to
that
Knull,
up.
and they just kind of like, that kind of worked for them, somewhat. That worked for them, promotional wise. What if we do something similar? And then they go and
Did
slap
it,
him.
though?
They slap him in the pre-production for the movie,
Promotional. Yeah.
or sorry, the pre-hype, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, promotional.
The movie's color graded pretty nice, though. Somebody there knows his colors. Movie looks nice. Decent amount of time.
It's
I-
like
I'm
Sony
just-
saw the movies.
I'm,
they're
I'm
like, what do
so
people really hate?
frustrated with this movie.
They hate when we have a third movie and we throw in a bunch of characters. So what should we do this time around? Let's just crank it up to 10. Let's just throw in even more characters into our third final movie. Because maybe they didn't
Dude.
like it because there wasn't enough. And
If
now that
they-
we have so many, they're going to enjoy it this time.
Right? They're like, man, we're really missing the Knull market. There's a big Knull market out there. Like, every character that's added in, they're like, we'll get that group too. But, like, imagine if they did make Amazing Spider-Man now. That movie is going to have 100 characters in it. Just because they just had so many ideas kicking around for all these years. They're just going to throw everybody in that movie. So maybe it's a good thing. Third movies do have that problem. Who knows? What about the, Actually, no, I forgot. We're not going to talk about that. I referenced it at the beginning of the episode, but...
Yeah, we could have talked about it last episode. We purposely skipped over it. As you know, Eddie Brock did go somewhere and then came back.
A little vacation.
We'll talk about that in a few months. Specifically, maybe we can keep talking about Venom: The Last Dance or just how this trilogy felt to us.
We can, can't we? But...
The
That's an
best
option.
part of the entire
That's a
movie
thing that we could do.
is when Eddie Brock stabs. There's a scene in the water where they're fighting around, and for the first time in the entire movie, Eddie Brock kills somebody. He stabs that government agent with the knife, and it's like a very real scene. And she floats away,
yeah.
and then they proceed to not even discuss it at any point throughout the entire movie. They give you this oh wow, that's really big for Eddie. Like, how's he gonna emotionally deal with
The
this?
whole first
What's
two
he,
movies.
This is the first time he's
right?
deliberately killed somebody, and then he just gets out of the water and goes, "Oh, that was crazy. Come on, Venom, let's go back to New York." And it's just like, what are we doing?
Right? The whole first two movies were like, no, you can't kill people, Venom. You can't do that. That's terrible. That's a bad thing.
Another great scene.
You mean?
That's 30
Don't have me
seconds and not talked
involved.
about. There's that scene in the van when the family's singing and Venom's like goofing around, and Venom's like says, not jokingly, but very lightheartedly, "Oh, it would have been nice to have a life like this." And Eddie's looking out the window and kind of just like very depressingly goes, "Yeah, it would have been." Like, there's that whole idea that Eddie doesn't get to have this whole life now because of what happened with Venom and all that. And then they proceed to not even approach that or touch that whatsoever after that one scene at all.
Nope.
These movies do a
Never
really
seen
bad
David
job
Bowie
of
in that
laying
scene,
these
right?
groundwork
Or am
for
I
these really
misremembering?
somewhat. I think so. I'm pretty sure they were.
Gotcha.
We have so much potential for this kind of like body horror, deeper level, like psychological thing for Eddie having this Venom syndrome for so long, and they never really approach that at all throughout these entire movies. And it's a really, what's the word I'm looking for? It's left on the cut. It's something that's kind of left on the table, which would have been really interesting to see them really talk about that instead of in such a joking, lighthearted manner.
Hey. Maybe the next Venom movie.
I can't believe
They
it.
got any
But-
of that money
but-
left.
It's disrespectful.
But actually, like, the fourth movie isn't going to be a Venom movie. It's going to be this, like, electric girl movie that we don't really know who the character is. We've never seen before.
Electric Spider. It's a Spider-Man 2 reference.
And maybe, is it possible that we're a little Spider-Man universe out? Like, we're a little
Yes.
After
Yes,
3
very
movies
possible.
without Spider-Man, can you believe it? 3 movies without Spider-Man. Crazy how you need a Spider-Man to make a Spider-Man universe work. It's kind of weird.
It is a
It's
little
kind of
weird, isn't
odd.
it?
Or you need, well, I guess that is still Spider-Man, but you need Nicolas Cage, let's be honest. That's what we're waiting for here. I wonder if there'll be
To be
a
honest,
symbiote in
if-
that show.
I think
If you're listening to this, we don't have much to say. Like, it is a terrible movie.
Honestly, yeah, we're waiting for you to chip in. If you're listening, please throw something our way. You know what I mean? Throw us a line here.
it's one of
No,
it's
you got
one of the
nothing?
worst
All right.
movies I've ever
All right.
seen. And I'm not trying to rip into it for being terrible, but narratively, there's not a single thing that happens narratively in this movie that moves the movie along. It is quite literally your main character just being in places, like he's just kind of on the side of an airplane and he just kind of falls off it. And then he's just kind of in Area 51. And then there's kind of just these symbiotes here who are just kind of hanging out. And then they kind of help him, but they die within 4 seconds after
And then
saying
there's
their
this
name
family
and
that's,
showing
like,
that they're
really
good
into
guys.
the
And you
Area
you
51
keep
thing.
throwing things at people. Who is quite literally just there to show you need people for Eddie to save. You need him to be the hero, so you need a damsel in distress, which in this case it's a family of 4. All the stuff at the end with all of those symbiotes breaking out of the cage to quite literally just be cannon fodder to the giant spider thing so that someone can die that's not Eddie Brock is very cheap and very stupid, in my opinion.
This we can't talk about it right now. Obviously, the post credit of the Let There Be Carnage, as well as the first 5 minutes of this movie. But this quite literally was the most useless trilogy I have ever experienced.
There's got to be something
Hmm.
else.
I mean,
Let me think about that.
I will try to think right now. Like, I've been trying to think of why the ending montage after Venom dies, like why that struck a chord. Maybe it's
Because Tom
because
Hardy's
I
a good
did-
actor. It's like the 5 seconds where
Yeah.
Tom Hardy was actually able to act.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe it was like I was sad because it was a missed opportunity. Maybe that's why. Like, there was so much
But
potential,
also, like,
and we're
who are
not
we
saying.
kidding?
I mean,
It's
at least I'm not
a
saying
Sony movie.
we don't.
There's gonna be a 4th one, and he's gonna come back.
I don't think they needed Spider-Man to make this trilogy.
Hey guys, I just want to take a moment to thank our sponsors. This episode is sponsored by Effortless Expeditions, a Disney-centered travel agency, here to help you plan your next Disney vacation. Contact them today for a free, no-obligation quote. Wherever the destination, they make the experience truly effortless. This episode of the Sacred Rewatch is also brought to you by Bronson Made, a digital marketing and branding agency that helps businesses grow and stand out. With the idea of our canvas, your story, Bronson Made makes the creative process simple, collaborative, and effective. Find out more at bronsonmade.com or follow them on Instagram at bronsonmade.
I needed another connection that wasn't, hey, we're going to throw 35 different symbiotes that we've never seen before, and we're not going to explain how they really got there besides, like, Knull and, like, these portal things that, like, oddly are, like, Doctor Strange-like, but not really. I don't know. I'm
No,
just
they do
sad that
explain
they,
it.
like,
Wait,
They
I
missed
thought
out
all the
on it because-
symbiotes were every time Venom has been fighting, he's leaving pieces of himself in areas, and the government's been going and they've been grabbing the pieces that Venom's been leaving, and those are those symbiotes. That's what I kind of thought throughout this movie. Am I
No,
wrong?
I know, but why are they different? Like, can we get some more background on them? That's kind of
I have no
a
clue.
cop out, in my opinion.
Like Carnage made sense. Carnage was different because he was in his blood.
Carnage
so he was
makes
more of a
sense.
blood symbiote, and they do a good job at showing that. I don't get why this one's lava. Why is this one super fast? It's just stupid.
Why is this one yellow with dreads?
Why are you blue?
It's the Rasta one.
So maybe I'm sad that there's a missed opportunity. And to be quite honest, I don't think we will see a solo Venom movie with a recasted actor to play Eddie Brock or a version of Venom
Solo?
for a long time.
If only there was some sort of brand new day.
You don't think the MCU would use Tom Hardy?
They might use him, but it won't be a solo movie.
Wait, hold on.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
That's an amazing question that I can bring up because it hasn't
And
happened.
amazing.
Hold on. Actually, no, I can't bring that up, can I? It's
You
really good, though.
Probably.
I'll cut it out.
You're the editor.
I'm going to say the word edit right now. By the way, this is for clarification, just for the team. Just
Team.
blatantly say the word edit. That helps me find edits much easier. So just make sure that it picks up on it.
Edit.
Anyway.
Edit.
Right? But if this comes back in the actual, this is all going to be censored, by the way, will voice this that talks to, because he's the voice of this. So if they were
Sorry,
to do
my
something
chair's
with that
broken.
scene,
I don't think you need to edit that.
you mean?
You
I do,
should, Rick.
because there's no clarification, since we're not talking about the and stuff, that the was left there at all, or tied to the. We're not talking about that at all. So
Can
I'll
you
cut that out.
rephrase your question?
Okay, so we know that a little bit of gets left in the, according to the, not according to
Yes.
the at all directly.
Yes.
If they were to ever do something with that, like have a scientist find it or something to do something with that, and it gets attached to, in the, would be the voice of that still, because he's the voice of this one.
Should it? No. Will it? Yes.
You think the would be willing to tie it to these movies?
No.
But then again, I
I
guess
think
if
it's
it's
the
doing
opposite.
anything with that,
I think should
like
it,
that, it
yes.
would already be
Will it,
doing
no.
that.
Brody, they're bringing back Robert Downey Jr.
Whoa. Robert Downey Jr. and Venom 1, 2, and 3 are completely different
No.
things. Don't even try to pull that.
No. I'm saying, though, does not care about, like, they'll figure out a way to justify it. You know?
That is true. Dude, what if Tom Hardy's Venom is in Avengers Doomsday or Secret Wars?
Secret Wars, I think it's actually very likely.
Very likely.
I'd
We'll see
be
how many
so
mistakes Sony
tough.
can make before that.
If Peter Parker is not the symbiote for the entirety of Secret Wars, which I'm assuming will probably happen.
Yeah, for sure. I think a good portion of it. But hey, what do we know? We haven't even seen the next Spider-Man movie.
No. Okay, are we going back?
Oh yeah, we've been back for a while.
Okay, all right.
I can leave the Doomsday and Secret Wars stuff.
So we already talked about this was probably not Andrew Garfield's universe. They probably won't go back to this specific universe ever again. We only got one more Spider-Man
You don't think
project
there's a
after
fourth
this for a
movie?
while. No. Craven
But I mean, at the
is-
end, Knull
is the epitome
Knull
of
directly
like-
looks into the camera and like makes a comment that he's gonna go take over Earth or something like that. They very much tee up a fourth movie.
Hey,
No, I know they
And this
tease.
Sony
movie
doesn't
finds-
always
doesn't mean that
follow
they
up
have
with
to
that.
follow
It wasn't-
through. I was
it's
gonna
not
say
like it
that.
lost money.
But let's be honest.
It's true.
What it comes down to, Tom Hardy likely signed a 3-movie contract. Even if there was a 4th one, I don't think they had Tom Hardy signed up for a 4th one. So
When
that
they
would be a
very
whole
clearly,
different deal.
they very clearly tell the audience, hey, in the title, this is the last dance. They kill Venom. So, like, yeah, there's no point to bring him back.
Right? But like I'm saying, it would be a whole renegotiation of Tom Hardy coming back. And I think that is the most abundantly clear. I don't see them coming back and doing that.
Not at least Sony negotiating. If Marvel Studios was able to buy Spider-Man from Sony for $1 trillion,
Right?
there may be able to be a renegotiation, be like, hey, we're going to bring you back, you know?
But even, I don't know. MCU Spider-Man's kind of weird right now.
You guys want me to ask Gemini and see theoretically how much it would cost Marvel to buy Spider-Man?
Who's Gemini?
It's
up.
it's
Tom
artificial
Hardy signed on
intelligence.
for 3 movies, but he's hinted that the franchise may continue once he's left. And I cannot imagine a 4th movie without Tom Hardy.
There's no other movies in this universe? The other Sony movies aren't tied into this universe?
I don't know.
That's
I
the
really
question.
don't
Cue the
know.
Andrew
That's
Garfield.
a question.
That's the question.
Okay.
So bummed
What do
I
you
can't
what do you
find Venom
think
Lego
the
minifigure.
artificial intelligence number is for how much Marvel would have to pay Sony for the rights to Spider-Man and all its characters?
The rights to Spider-Man. Let me look. According to online sources. I don't know. Probably $2. Hopefully. Then we can buy that. No, I have no... These are levels of money that they're dealing with that I can't even comprehend.
So it is saying if Marvel Studios wanted to buy back, and this would be Disney buying it, wanted to buy back the entire Sony Spider-Man universe, which includes all of Peter Parker characters, as well over 900 related characters that Sony has the rights to. Based on current market valuations and recent industry deals like the $7 billion Sony Netflix streaming extension that's going on, it'd be around $15 billion.
For reference, 899 of those characters other than Spider-Man are all different symbiotes.
Yeah.
Just to clarify.
But there's like Miles
Different
Morales,
shades of
which I
purple.
think's a big sell, Black Cat, Sinister Six, Kraven. And I actually think the price would be well over that right now if Disney put an offer together, because Sony, in my opinion, has no intentions of ever selling it to Disney specifically.
It's all they got, man. It's crazy. Crazy.
So, yeah, next week we got one more Spider-Man project. It's the official title of it, because it used to be called Spider-Man Freshman Year. Now it's called Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, Season 1. You guys excited to watch that?
That's what's next?
Yeah.
Interesting. I haven't heard a lot about that show.
The
to
real
be honest.
Carnage Resist movie. Like,
I
tell you
haven't
that,
either.
And
man.
I
by
know
then,
it's
I
like
mean
old-
I haven't heard anything. Wrong movie. We're on the 3rd one now.
Like,
No, I know,
we can't
but
even
I
do
know.
banter for this movie, because, like, there's just nothing to talk
I
about.
know, I'm just kidding. Yeah, we can do banter. Sure.
We want to talk about
Let's do banter.
cheeseburgers.
Let's do banter. Come on, guys.
We want to talk about, or maybe the banter's slight planning episode right now. Maybe, hey, you know what? We're going to plan a little bit. Join us in on this. So
We're gonna
I have an
plan.
issue with watching Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man Season 1, because Your
Okay.
Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man Season 2 is coming out this year, and I feel like it'd be most ideal if we watch that back to back rather than watching season 1 now and then finding a way to shoehorn season 2 in later. Thoughts?
I don't know. I don't mind either way. It might be, I don't know if we watch season 1 now and kind of brace ourselves, get well informed about the subject.
Yeah, but like, also,
Or wait.
are we a little Spider-Man'd out?
I don't know. We haven't had
No,
an
we
actual
haven't really
Spider-Man
seen
though.
much Spider-Man.
I'm kind of
love
actually
Spider-Man.
interested to watch something Spider-Man. Yeah. And that's a show I haven't heard anything about. It might be atrocious, but
So season 2 is supposed
I'd
to
be
come out
interested
in
in
the
watching
fall of this year.
so we got a while.
Yeah.
I'd be down to watch it. How long are the episodes of the show?
Let's look. I have no idea. I've done very little research on this. 'Cause I've been
Animated,
saving
hopefully
it for
20
this.
minutes,
Hopefully,
25 minutes.
Disney Plus, your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. Hold on. Looking. Season 1. There are 10 episodes with a rough estimate of 30 minutes each.
It's not the worst. If they were pushing to 45, I would say absolutely not. I'm not against watching it.
If we
Would
didn't
tackle a
watch it
full
now,
season?
our next project would be the 2000s version of Fantastic Four 1 and 2.
Yeah, I feel like we should do that, the animated show,
Okay.
before we get to that. Personally speaking. Though, I must ask, a lot of these other projects have been things heavily rumored or directly tying into the MCU, as we know now. What ties that project? Do we know at all?
I have no basis. The fact that it's a recent project that they put on Disney Plus, so I've got to imagine it means something.
Yeah, it's just good to widen the Spider-Man knowledge.
The other Spider-Man projects, like Ultimate Spider-Man, like from the 2010s or 2000s, Morbius, Madam Web, Kraven, Spider-Man
Yeah.
Into, Across, and Beyond the Spider-Verse. That's all Secret Wars. Like, that's 2027 watch. Spider Noir. We will be covering that in this Illuminati Takeover. But in terms of Sacred
Gotcha.
Rewatch, we'll watch it again in 2027. And Humans, Ghost Rider 2, The Punisher. What else do we got? Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., Agent Carter. That's all
Wait,
2027.
what? We are watching Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. eventually?
2027, yeah. We got to fill up time, man.
Oh.
That's our Secret
Okay.
Wars prep, because Secret Wars is going to have even, like, crazier multiverse ramifications.
As long as it doesn't have any flying cars in it. That's all I remember from that show. Yeah, but imagine even crazier. Doomsday flops. Makes $2 at the box office.
It's not gonna
Secret
do that.
Wars. Canceled.
I am a
Canceled.
little
We're
bit
not doing
worried,
it.
though, about Doomsday, because it's Doomsday. Dune's coming out the same day, so I am a little bit worried about box office for Doomsday.
That's just more people going to theaters. That's good business.
It is good business, but I'm a little worried for Doomsday's numbers.
Dude, I'm just worried I'm not going to like it. I'm worried,
You think Doomsday's going to be $1 billion?
Oh. Maybe.
Easily.
I would hope so. Just for them. Like I said, I think this movie is, let's make some budget so we can make some more mistakes. That's what
They
I see
definitely need
Doomsday
to.
as.
Like post Comic-Con, they're really going to need to ramp up the marketing if they want it to cross $1 billion. Because we had that
As long as
stretch
they're not
at the
marketing
beginning
like
of the
Star
year.
Wars.
We had that stretch where we had like the teaser every week for 4 weeks straight, which helped
Yeah.
the buzz a lot. But then it's died. We haven't heard anything since.
Yeah, I'll be talking about this in this month in Marvel. By the time this episode comes out, it will be like a 3-month-old episode. But just because of how far we are ahead. But I did talk about that. Like, I think the break right now, because there was like no news this past month, was very, very intentional because they stopped doing the Doomsday trailers.
Yeah.
So I think they really wanted to separate the marketing campaign between the Spider-Man movie and those. It was like, hey, just so you're not too much looking for Doomsday stuff in these Spider-Man trailers and disappointed, we're going to get that out of the way with all these trailers, and then we're going to give you Spider-Man, so then focus on Spider-Man because we gave you that, and then we'll get into the Doomsday stuff again at the end of the year. So I think hopefully, I mean, they definitely have a very large awareness about their movie because of those trailers and stuff, especially.
Yeah.
Much better than something like Star Wars right now with their marketing. But my nightmare is that I watch Doomsday and I don't like it. And I'm just surrounded by people like that love it. That's my nightmare for Doomsday. Like, wouldn't that be the worst?
Yeah.
Movie satisfies everyone but you. That'd be a bummer, dude. That'd be
But
like
that's
Venom
why
3.
I'm kind of going into Doomsday with
Except it didn't satisfy anyone.
like low expectations. I'm expecting it to be
I have very low
somewhat-
expectations for Doomsday.
I'm expecting it to not make sense. And I think that's good. Going into it. Like, I don't expect it
I
to
don't not
to
so
work.
much say expect it to not make sense. I'm
It
expecting
might have a little
to
Venom,
feel
too.
rushed.
Yeah, I'm expecting it to feel like one of these, like the Venom 2 or something. Like, I'll laugh. Like, there's gonna be some good moments in there. But I don't know.
What I'm thinking is it's going to feel rushed. It's not going to make sense. And then finally, when we have some sustenance, it's going to be a teaser for Secret Wars. When we finally get some questions answered.
Dude,
Agreed.
we're really good at talking about Doomsday
We are.
during our Venom episode.
It's almost like that's the whole point of the podcast, which we don't even give ourselves that many opportunities to talk about Doomsday. But we'll start ramping
Right?
it up more.
Usually
Maybe
that's
when there's more.
Illuminati.
Yeah, totally. I mean, I think there should be conversations to be had inside the Sacred Rewatch where we talk about Doomsday as we get closer and closer. You know?
Yeah. I don't know. It's a weird thing. Like I said, I do have low expectations for it, to be honest.
Yeah.
That's because I'm a hater. I'm a hater, dude. Infinity War, all right. No, I'm just kidding. Really good movie.
Okay.
It's not my favorite.
Well, be good to wrap
Venom-
it up.
Hey, everybody say a sentence about Venom. What do you think about these 3 movies, huh? Let's give them one.
Venom 3
I won't even give
was in production
I'll
during
give-
the writer's strike.
I'll give
so
bad.
maybe we can give it that.
Okay.
So you're saying this movie shouldn't have even been made? This is an unallowed movie.
Yeah.
This is made during the strike.
Rumor on
That's
the block
crazy.
is Venom 3 is what caused the writer's strike.
Right. They're like, let's find everybody who isn't technically a writer. Whoever we can find. Can't be in the guild. My sentence for the Venom movies is, Eddie Brock. Kind of just 2 words. It's not really a sentence, but Woody Harrelson is the best part of any of these movies for me. By a wide margin. Just because it's just absurd to watch.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think that's going to do it for this episode of the Sacred Rewatch. We hope you enjoyed diving all over the timeline with us. Catch us next week where we are talking about Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man Season 1.
Yeah.
We hope you enjoyed diving all over the timeline with us. Catch us next week where we are... Oh, I already said that. New recap episodes are coming out every week leading up to Avengers Doomsday. Sounds like there's going to be multiple weeks coming up where we're going to be having a good amount of episodes dropping in a week. So be sure to be on the lookout for that. And by the time it comes out to this, it's already in the timeline. Go check out the other episodes. Wherever you are in the multiverse. Thanks for making the Sacred Rewatch part of your journey. Let's see if we can say it together even with Wyatt's delay. Ready? 1, 2,
For all time,
3.
always.
For all time,
For all time,
always.
always.
Oh, there we go. Yeah.
Wow.
See ya.
See you guys.